Welcome back to Cityline. I'm already having a good time with these two. Please join me in welcoming two amazing women who are here to talk about dementia-friendly Pierce County. And I'm talking about, welcome me back, Maria Holt, who is the Director of Dementia Services for Lutheran Community Services Northwest. Welcome back, Maria.
Thanks, Amanda.
And with me also is the lovely Nikisha Thornton. She is the volunteer coordinator for Lutheran Community Services Northwest. Welcome back as well, my dear.
Thank you, Amanda.
It's always great to have you two because you're full of information that I find in the second half of my life, everything the two of you have to say, I need to hear. So I'm sure our audience is the same way. So let's get to it. Maria, what is a dementia-friendly Pierce County?
Right. Well, a dementia-friendly Pierce County is one where people living with dementia and their families and care partners are feeling welcomed, valued, and cared for. And let me say there are many people in Pierce County living with dementia. Currently, the estimate is around 13,000 people, and that number is expected to grow to nearly 20,000 by 2030. So this really is a disease that is increasing all the time. It's going to affect all of us in one way or another, whether it's personally with a family member, a neighbor, a friend, or something that we're doing in our work. So it's really valuable information. And our mission is to increase awareness about dementia by providing education and outreach to the community, and by offering supportive and engaging services and activities for people with dementia and their families and their caregivers. We are committed to reducing the stigma around dementia and creating a culture of compassion that aligns with our agency's mission of health, justice, and hope. Along those lines, we are also honored to be a part right now of the advisory board for the Age-Friendly Tacoma initiative that is being spearheaded by Council Member Lillian Hunter. So that's quite an honor.
I love that. You know, so as I'm working in that season now where I have reason to want to know about dementia, one of the questions that I have run into and that I've asked is, what is the difference, Maria, between dementia and Alzheimer's?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm sure a lot of people wonder the same thing. So really what it is dementia is an umbrella term that covers a multitude of different types of dementia. So when people say dementia, they could be referring to Alzheimer's disease, which is the most prevalent form of dementia and accounts for about 80% of cases. But there's also frontotemporal dementia, there's vascular dementia, there's Parkinson's dementia. So there's a lot of different dementias under the one umbrella. So sometimes you might hear somebody say specifically Alzheimer's disease, and that could be true if the person has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, or they could be meaning dementia in general. But dementia by itself, it's always a similar collection of symptoms that you'll see, such as short-term memory loss, confusion, sometimes agitation, there's anxiety and depression associated with it. So all of those symptoms would be somewhat the same with those different variant types of dementia. And a really good way, Amanda, to learn more about that is by taking our Dementia Friends information sessions, which is one of the services that we offer. It's an hour-long get-together currently being held on Zoom, and it talks about what is dementia, what are the signs and symptoms, what are the different types, and then how do we communicate with people with dementia in our community, and how do we support them to feel welcomed, as I said, and valued and cared for.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nikisha, Lutheran Community Services Northwest recently received a proclamation from my favorite mayor, Mayor Victoria Woodard, and the Tacoma City Council. What was it for, Nikisha?
So this proclamation was for the Compassionate Tacoma Initiative. And it was to celebrate Lutheran Community Services Northwest Centennial this year. So we've been serving our communities that span from Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. And we've been doing that for 100 years. And we're just really grateful and to be a part of the Compassionate Tacoma and also the Dementia Friendly Pierce County. And I would like to just give a special thank you to Mayor Victoria Woodard and the Tacoma City Council for recognizing and honoring Lutheran Community Services Northwest. We were actually the first recipient of this proclamation. Trudy Sorensen, who is our Senior District Director for the South Puget Sound area, she received the proclamation, and it was via the Tacoma City Council's meeting on May 11th. And just a little bit about Compassionate Tacoma Initiative. It was just basically founded on the belief that each and every one of us has the ability to make Tacoma more compassionate. And we can do this by listening and just serving in love, so.
Oh, that's fabulous. I mean, we need to make that into a commercial for children. Because after you said that, who doesn't want to live in our city, Nikisha?
Right.
Nikisha, before I ask Maria about dementia services programs and how they show compassion, I was thinking about your programs and thinking about COVID-19. How did you adjust this? Well, actually, let's do this. Can you describe your programs before COVID and then what you had to do when COVID hit and we were sheltering in place?
Okay. So I guess pre-COVID, we still do offer programs and services for people with disabilities, seniors, and also people living with dementia. And so to make that transition, we are now doing it virtually. A lot of our programs now are being offered virtually, and which is, I mean, in a way, kind of a good thing because we can now reach more people in a sense. And so one of the examples of one of those transitions would be the OMA program, which is a free service that we provide for people living with dementia. And OMA stands for Opening Minds Through Arts. And this program is really amazing because it's really person-centered. It's offered to we call the client or the person living with dementia, the artist, and their family member and or caregiver. And we offer these art sessions that are put on via Zoom with an art instructor, and it just allows them to be themselves and just to create, art. And we offer the materials to them free of service. We do the safe porch drop off for them with all their materials that they'll need to do these projects. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. Boy, you guys have, I hate to use that word, but you've pivoted beautifully. Maria, let's talk about, obviously these dementia services are tailored, they are gentle, they are seamless, but how do they show compassion for the person, but also for the caregiver? Because I'm one of those caregivers and it's a lot.
Yeah, it sure is. I know I was a caregiver for my mom who had Alzheimer's as well. So I completely relate to that. And, I think being compassionate is all about being sympathetic and concerned about the needs of others. And so our services truly align with that, because what we're focused on is making sure, as I said, making sure that people with dementia and their families and caregivers are feeling supported and included in what's going on in the world around them, and that there are activities that they can participate in that will enrich the quality of their lives. So for example, as I mentioned, our Dementia Friends information sessions are held regularly, so that people in the community, individuals and community groups, can learn about what dementia is, the signs and symptoms that they might see, and then how to communicate with and be supportive of those people in the community. And then, as Nikisha mentioned, our Opening Minds Through Art program, it's an amazing opportunity for people with dementia to create these beautiful works of abstract art that they can share with their friends and their family. So it allows them some autonomy. It allows them to make something beautiful and be of use, and it allows them the ability to make choices in a world where so many choices are being made for them because of their disease. And as Nikisha mentioned, Opening Minds Through Art also pairs the person with dementia with an intergenerational volunteer, which we're currently doing on Zoom in breakout rooms, which has been interesting. But again, it's providing them an opportunity for support and social interaction, which is often lacking because people with dementia's world gets smaller and smaller, and then coming soon, we're going to have a music program too. So we'll have to get back on with you and tell you about that once that happens.
Yeah, as you were talking, Maria and Nikisha, I was thinking about this organization really lowers the barriers. Because when you are diagnosed with that dementia umbrella, your whole world suddenly becomes barriers of things that you could do before that you can't do now. And also there is that fear and that feeling and anticipation of there's going to be more barriers that come up. So when I think about an intergenerational volunteer sitting down and doing art with someone in a Zoom breakout room, that is the best. So Maria, what are the other plans now that things are opening up? Will we see a center open up with maybe some different protocols?
Yeah, that's a good question. And that's something that, isn't it exciting to even say things are opening up? We've all been waiting for this for so long, it seems like. So we're being very, cautious about a return to person activities, but we are laying the groundwork for that day. We have a lot of amazing community partners that offer space to us and that help us get the word out about our services and activities. So we're reaching out to them at this time to find out too, what are your plans? What does the summer and beyond look like, for you, so that we can partner up with them to be able to get back into the community. But as Nikisha said, we do plan to continue to offer a hybrid version of our activities, because one of the things that we've discovered during the pandemic and using Zoom and other virtual platforms is that it does allow us to reach people who would not be able to get to an activity in person. Maybe their dementia has progressed to the point that it would be too difficult for the caregiver to get them in the car and drive them to art class once a week. Or, with our Dementia Friends information sessions, maybe we're reaching people in more rural parts of Tacoma and Pierce County that wouldn't normally come into the city for an activity. So we do plan to continue to offer some online versions. And then, of course, for those people that have been waiting patiently or impatiently to get back into the community and see people face to face, we do plan to have that happening as soon as it's safe to do so.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nikisha, last question I have is, we could do an hour because there's so many great programs. Thank goodness that you guys promote. But I want to also ask you, as the volunteer coordinator, who do you want to thank? Because it takes a village and nobody is compassionate with all of these programs alone.
So first and foremost, I would love to just give a big thank you to all of the volunteers, because I tell you, without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and they just give up their time, just so generous with their time. And then they're just so compassionate about what they do. And so I just want to thank them. I want to thank all of the programs and services that we provide, the people that run those programs, program directors, managers, and all of the staff that make it possible. So just this agency, we is just amazing, and we were just able to connect with the community. So
Well, this agency is amazing, and I have two amazing women in front of me that I can tell that this is a ministry for you, for lack of a better word. It's a 24/7 because you care so much about your patients and also keeping Tacoma compassionate. I recently have had the privilege of learning about your services, my partner and I. And let me tell you, I am so impressed. I have learned so much. And I've learned things that are making my life easier. And they're also helping me to be more compassionate and more educated and aware and full of sympathy and empathy because dementia affects everybody, not just the person that has it. So I thank you both so much for just providing all the beautiful information and healing that you do. And don't be a stranger. I want you back on here to talk about that music program. Deal?
We definitely will.
All right. We have much more to come on Cityline. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back.